if you want to see different topics and research, you should go to our website, and I will show it also in the following slides. So this is just to see the different people, the different supervisors in our department. I will go briefly on each one of them. Professor Ilana Berman-Frank, she's the head of the whole school, and she's doing mainly biological oceanography, asking questions about nutrition in the Mediterranean and other seas. Myself, I'm Professor Tamar Lotan, and I'm interested in cnidarians such as jellyfish, sea anemone, sometimes corals, and we also study parasitic cnidarians, and we're looking on them through and we're interested in their development and evolution using different techniques as molecular biology, biochemistry, cell biology, lab on chips, and many more. Professor Dan Chernov, he's the head of the predatory unit that we have nearby the university. And he's interested in the deep sea. He's using different robots and shipping in order to search the deep sea, but he's also interested in ocean acidification. And Professor Laura Steiner, maybe you'll talk about yourself, Laura?
Sure. So hi, everybody. So our lab works on marine microbiology. We have two main lines of research. One is host microbe interactions. So nowadays we know that most animals and most plants, and even us as human beings, host a microbiome, host a lot of bacteria in a tight interaction that gives a lot of important features for our health. And these evolved very early on in the very first animal that evolved on our planets, which are marine sponges. So we focus on this interaction and what are the molecular mechanisms that underlie identification between a host and a microbe. And the second line of research is more in biological oceanography. And we study some of the dominant, the most abundant bacteria in all of the oceans, a group called SAR11, where the only lab around the Mediterranean that knows how to grow these bacteria. And we investigate their physiology, and we investigated also molecular mechanisms underlying their physiology. We go on research cruises, but we also study the bacteria in the lab, and we try to understand how also these bacteria connect to global climate change and warming and emission of greenhouse gases such as methane.
Thank you, Laura. And then we have Professor Daniel Sher, and he's interested in marine chemical ecology. He's mainly studying the interaction between different bacteria in the open sea. And Professor Smadar Bentabu de Leon, she's interested in gene regulation. And her main model is a sea urchin, and she's studying it from embryogenesis till the larval stage of the sea urchin. And Professor Tali Mas, she concentrates mainly on coral biomineralization. She also works with all the methods that are specified that all the other labs also do, molecular biology, biochemistry, bioinformatics, but she is also looking on the biomineralization process using high sophisticated microscopy. Dr. Talu Tzatut-Knan, she is looking on functional metabolomics, and she's also looking for marine natural products. She has a background in biology and chemistry, and she's going to set the Metabolomic Center in Haifa next year. Dr. Igal Bernstein is joining us in the coming October. He's a quantitative marine ecologist. He worked a lot on oil pollution and on marine protected area and their connections. He's not only modeling, he's also going into the sea, collecting samples and analyzing them in the lab. He's also working on larvae movement. Professor Gil Rilov, he's associated to our department. He's not sitting in the university, but nearby. And he's marine ecology, and he's interested mainly in conservation. Professor Emeritus Michael Crom, he's marine environmental geochemistry, and he's looking on different for example, nitrogen and phosphorus in the Mediterranean. And you can read on all these people and the research in our webpage. So where is our lab? So what you see here is a picture of Haifa and this is the university, this circle. And you can see that the university is just nearby the Mediterranean Sea, so we can get to the sea very easily. This is the Haifa city, okay? And the university itself is located within the Carmel National Park, and the dorms are here, all right? So it's up on the hill on the Carmel Mountain. It's a very nice place, usually cool relative to other places in Israel. And we also have a field station nearby. And in this Maurice Kahn Marine Research Station, we have the top predator center. We're also doing the environmental sample analysis. And we also carry many monitoring programs. In this area, in this center, we also have our diving center. And this diving center is operated by the regulation of the American Diving Association and also the Israel Diving Authority. And it provides scuba diving courses to the students and training, mainly for scientific diving at different levels. And the diving also includes cloud system, as you can see here, for example. We can also work very easily in the Red Sea because we are part of the Inter-University Institute for Marine Sciences in Eilat. It's called in short IUI. And you can see here the institute, and you can see that it's just nearby the Red Sea. And basically, you can just walk into the water and see the beautiful coral reef that we have in the south in Eilat, in the Red Sea. So we can do research in the Mediterranean and also in the Red Sea. And this is just to show you some picture of our state-of-the-art technology in the lab and in the ocean. So you can see here different mass specs. You can see here an HPLC system. You can see here different microscopy. This is a closed circular system of our cryo, which we can mimic the condition in different levels, in different depths of the sea, using these special lights that mimic the actual light, let's say in 50 meter or 30 meter or even more. And we have different systems that we can change the pH, the salinity, and many more parameters. We also have a closed circuit system for growing, for example, cyanomys. So each small aquarium there holds like 20 anemones, and we have also flow systems that we can test different other things. And what you can see here are different technology in order to go into the water. We have two ocean observatory, one which goes into like, I think 150 meter, and the other goes more than 1 kilometer in depth. There, and we can get different parameters for these observatory. These parameters are online, so we can get them all the time. And these are different robots to collect different samples at different depths or to collect water. Okay, so what does it mean to study in the marine biology department? First, in order to be accepted, you need to have BSc in life sciences, and you have to have an average grade of 85. If you didn't do exactly life sciences, but something which is closed, then we can check your file, and maybe you will need to do some complementary studies before you start. Second, if you want to come to us, you have to find an advisor, a supervisor from our academic staff. This is necessary in order to be accepted. I mean, you can't be accepted if you didn't find a supervisor to guide you in your thesis. Our curriculum includes a total of 32 credits, 20 are mandatory and 12 are elective. And the core studies in the department take place in English. However, if you want to take different external courses, you probably will need to know Hebrew. But you can definitely finish your 32 credits in our department in English. The studies spread over 2 years, okay? And most mandatory courses will be held during the first year and will be concentrated as much as possible on 3 days a week. So the whole idea in that you can start working and doing research when you just enter to the university. So this is very different from the first degree. Once you enter our master degree, we want you to start to be a young scientist and start your thesis almost immediately. By the end of the first academic year, the student submit a research proposal which detail the topic of the research they're doing, and they also show the preliminary results. And these are the results that they gather during the first year of their study. The duration of the studies are 2 years. And when you graduate, you will be eligible for an MSc certificate in the Department of the Marine Biology. And you will also get a scholarship, which is around 2,500 new Israeli shekels. And the supervisor usually complement that with another 500 new Israeli shekels and sometimes even more. This is around $900, okay? And this is being given every month, according to the university regulations, of course. This is just to show you a few things that we are doing. So, for example, in the marine predators, you can see here a small ship, which is going to tag, for example, sharks, but we also tag tuna fish and other types of fish, or dolphins, for example. And what you see here is that they bring the shark to the ship, they take blood, and this will go into molecular analysis in order to understand what type of shark it is, if it's a female, a male, and many other parameters. And in this film, you're going to see Laura. Laura, do you want to talk while Oops, I'm sorry. Hold on a second. Here it goes.
So yes, this movie was taken in a research trip we did in Italy, where we looked at how the circadian, so the day and night cycle, affects gene expression both in marine sponges and in all the bacteria that are associated to the sponge. So again, a mix of field research work and lab work and bioinformatics. From the collection at sea, when we are collecting the sample, and as you can see now in the video, we are immediately preserving the sample in a chemical that enables for the RNA molecule to be preserved as soon as sampled. Later on, the sample is brought on the boat and to the freezers, and then RNA extractions is the next step, and eventually sequencing, next generation sequencing, what's called also transcriptomes, and bioinformatics to enable us to understand what is happening in situ under the water.
All right, thank you. And here I want to show you a work on organelles from within cells, and these are parasitic cnidarians. And you can see the organelle, these are stinging capsules, which it goes very quickly. So it's released the tubule, and then it released the compound. And this is using the electrophoresis. We can collect different capsules according to the conditions that we want. If you want to separate them from different, it went too fast. And another studies that we are doing is we're trying to understand the swimming of jellyfish. This was done in a container of 20 meters long. Today we are doing it at sea. These are all the pictures. And we're trying to figure out how the jellyfish fills the
current.
The current, I'm sorry. And this is a different work, which is high level of photography, microscopy. And you can see here the green vesicles. These are vesicles of calcium, and they are all concentrated here in what you see here. And this is how the sea urchin is being built. The sea urchin skeleton is being deposited. So you can see here field work. You can see here field work which will lead to a very deep molecular analysis in the lab. You can see here analysis of jellyfish, but eventually we take it or organelles that we know how to isolate, or if we look on the cells and the tissue. Those are different types of studies in our department. If we look on the courses that are run in the department, so in the mandatory courses, we have 2 different courses about the Mediterraneans. We also have physical oceanography and biogeochemical oceanography. We have research student form. This is an important course in which you learn how to read paper, analyze them, and present them. And another mandatory course is experimental design, when you learn how to design your experiments and analyze the data. But we also have 2 courses in method, marine method. The first one is basically at sea, where you design your own experiment and you collect samples from the sea, either by diving, snorkeling, or different method. And in the second course, you analyze your data in the lab. These 2 courses are intensive. They are not carried through all the semester. They usually, the field work and the lab work are usually carried between semester or after the second semester in the summer. And you have many different elective courses that you can take, like bioinformatics, scientific writing, marine microbiology. We also have a scientific diving course that if you need it for your research, then you are allowed to take it. And we have working shore ecology course and symbiosis and many different other courses which are taken in IOI. Remember the LAT stations that I talked about? So each week they have a different course there, and our student can go and get this course and enroll into these courses. And these courses are being given by the very best teachers in Israel. And of course, you can take courses in R or Python. And actually, you can take any course you needed for your research plan, even if it's not written here. What else? So this is how this year looked like. This is the first semester. That what you see here in green are the mandatory courses. And you can see that basically they are concentrated on 2 days. And in the second semester, you can see it's more spread on 3 days. And you can see also some elective courses, but this is not all the elective courses we have. We are very proud in our students. 70% of our graduates publish an article in leading scientific journal. So you can see here molecular ecology or cell or PNAS or different journals, and all these red labeling highlight names of students who actually carried these signs. So we are really, really proud, and we aim that every student will have will take part of a published paper. That means that he or she finalized their research to the very top level, that it can be published in peer review papers. Additionally, our graduates more than 50% continue to PhD or postdoc studies. About 40% go to the industry, to the biotech, to education or government or to NGOs. And the other 10% goes to other fields. So in order to join us, you need first to check the website of the department, then read about the different research topics. And if you find something which interests you, contact the relevant supervisor by email, send him or her a short CV and your BSc transcript. So the researcher will know who is speaking to you, what is your background. This is really important. And then you will get an interview, probably by Zoom. And once you are accepted to a specific lab, then register to our program. And I also wanted to show you, this is our website. So go into this website and you can see that every lab has many pages about the lab and what they're doing. So this is it. Before I'm done, I'm sorry. We have here a very talented student, Kayara, and she did her master's degree and now she's doing a PhD in our department and she's from Italy. Kayara, would you like to say a few things about the department?
No, thank you. So hello everyone. Thank you first of all for participating to this open day. Who knows, maybe some of you will really decide to come to Israel. So I'm a student from Italy, currently involved in a direct PhD program. I am working in the marine microbiology lab of the university with Laura on a subject dear to me since my bachelor, that is marine symbiosis. The marine school, in my opinion, is very diverse in terms of research topics, spanning from coral classification to free cyanobacteria photosynthesis to shark behavior to invertebrate development and many more subjects. And there is a really vivid collaboration between the different labs, not only here in Haifa, but also all around Israel and abroad. And personally, I got to travel in different institutes all around Israel for research, for courses, or for scholarship opportunities. Within and between the semesters, you will be not only exposed to courses and lab work to accomplish your project, but there are occasions to participate to research cruises, scuba dive for organism collection, volunteer from conferences, attend seminars from many different fields of biology, and many other activities and field work. So as a foreign student, I do perceive this experience as a concrete occasion of growth and to increase my scientific knowledge, to become a better scientist, to get to know cultures different from mine, and to try to move my steps within this land that is far from home and different from home. And for more practical information, as Tamar said, master students do receive a scholarship derived from both from the institute itself and from the lab budget. And you can take accommodation at the dorms of the university. That is a really nice occasion to bond with the highly international student community and to enjoy from the nature of the Mount Carmel on which the institute is sitting. And in general, is a really good starting point, being so comfortably close to your working place, to the lab. So if you're curious, you are welcome to visit the website of the Marine School and to read about the different topics of research and to directly contact the PIs if the subject of the lab is of a particular interest for you. So I suppose that's all I wanted to say. Thank you for your attention, and I hope to see at least some of your faces all around these corridors.
Thank you, Kiara. So guys, you're here, ask questions. We are here to answer.